Oh my god. White people are raged. White people enraged. White people unleashed. White people screamed. White people panicked. Now they are in tears. Now they are crying. Now they are realizing. Now they are not understanding what black Americans have literally been through. Now the orange man has now been poking his hands in their eyes and telling them, "You put me here, I'm gonna whoop all your axes first before anything." They are now seeing that every single thing that happened, starting from the campaign till now, they were all lies. They are now seeing that for decades upon decades, for centuries upon centuries, they were always deceived. It is good to feel what black Americans have felt. It is good. I love this part. I love the part that they can now come out with their full chest, do their video, and tell you this is how it's supposed to be. In fact, right now, we are very sorry. We are very sorry. What a wake up call. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in at this episode. And guys, with that being said, let's go watch. I'll be back with commentaries. For disclaimers, this is just for educational purposes only, not to come here ruffle on anyone's shoulder or make anyone feel uncomfortable. Let's go watch.
Kamala Harris was right about everything.
He will target and punish those who disagree with him or refuse to bend to his will. He calls these Americans the enemy within and says that he would use the American military to go after American citizens. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like, nonpartisan election officials who refuse to cheat by finding a few extra votes for him, judges who insist on following the law instead of following him. It is for reasons like these that General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Donald Trump's top general, has called Trump, and I quote, fascist to the core. And it is clear Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged and will stop at nothing to claim unchecked power for himself.
The right to do anything I want to do. I'm the President of the United States. And you need the right person to be president. You know, we had no war when I was president. War or the threat of war is raging everywhere, and the two incompetent people running our country, or what, I don't actually think they're even running it, are leading us to the brink of World War III. And to make her president would be a gamble with the lives of millions and millions of people. She would get us into a third world war. Kamala president would be a gamble with the lives of millions of people. She would get us into World War III because she's too grossly incompetent to do anything about it. Your sons and your daughters will end up getting... If Comrade Kamala wins this November, World War III is virtually guaranteed to happen. Everything she touches, she destroys. The Middle East is blowing up. We could be very close to World War III with these characters that don't have any idea what they're doing. End up getting drafted. They'll have a draft. Oh, she'd love a draft. All she wants is war. The reason I don't get along with her is because she wants to invade every damn country that she... Administration, I will end the endless wars. They never stop. Again, we had no wars. We had no new wars under your favorite president, President Trump. We had no new wars. They thought I was going to start a war. Let me tell you something. I'm going to stop World War III because we're closer to World War III than we've ever been since the end of World War II.
If this president is thinking about putting us in a position where we're in a war with Iran, the consequences will be absolutely unacceptable and tragic in terms of the young men and women who are American soldiers.
Kamala Harris was right about everything.
He said he will target and punish those who disagree with him or refuse to bend to his will. He calls these Americans the enemy within and says that he would use the American military to go after American citizens. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like. Nonpartisan election officials who refuse to cheat by finding a few extra votes for him. Judges who insist on following the law instead of following him. It is for reasons like these that General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Donald Trump's top general, has called Trump, and I quote, fascist to the core. Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming.
Kamala Harris was right about everything. Russia is giving information to Iran. Russia is giving information to Iran about US warships, aircraft, other assets in the region. US intelligence knows this. Kamala Harris said that these dictators would eat Trump for breakfast or for lunch, whatever. And MAGA laughed at her, and MAGA acted like their God King is this tough businessman who can strike deals with anyone. And Trump has always said Putin is his, that they have a good relationship, they're buddies, acting like he knows how to control him. No, it's the other way around. Putin knows how to control Trump, and he always has. And when Trump was asked about the US, when he was asked about Russia giving information to Iran, his response was, what a stupid question. What a stupid question. Are we great yet, MAGA? Is this America first? Acknowledging that someone who is supposed to be an ally of the president, right? They're supposedly have a good relationship according to Trump. Giving information to our enemy. Is this what you voted for? This the art of the deal?
Remember when she said this?
He is saying that he would use the military to go after them.
And then they told you that it was a lie?
That they are now talking about deploying 1,500 military.
She warned us.
I want to talk about this Mickey Mouse Clubhouse administration because that's exactly what's going on. Today, Donald Trump told CBS that the war with Iran is very complete. But see, let me just break something down for y'all. Donald Trump and his administration fundamentally did not have the political capital or the political runway to wage war with anybody, yet alone Iran, for a sustained period of time. The reason being is because the United States is currently dealing with an affordability crisis, right? Things are way too expensive. And this war with Iran, Israel blowing up oil fields in Iran, is only exacerbating that issue at the gas pump, right? The American people are lacking in healthcare, they're lacking in insurance, they're lacking in the ability to pay their rent, all of these different things. And we're spending $1 billion a day waging a war with very vague objectives in Iran. So what Donald Trump is attempting to do is desensitize us to the idea that this war is about to come to an end and also find an off-ramp. But see, this is the problem with this off-ramp he's trying to create. We just went in Iran, blew up all their stuff, took out their Ayatollah, which is essentially the equivalent of our president, and now the replacement for that Ayatollah is his son. And if you think for 1 second that Iran is just going to let us walk away scotch-free, you got another thing coming. Folks, this war is just getting started. And now that they have chosen a new Ayatollah, it only guarantees that this war will be prolonged. And Iran understands that Donald Trump is not in a strong position, politically speaking, here in the United States. And so dragging this conflict out only puts Donald Trump in a worse position, especially in negotiations. This war is not coming to an end. It's just getting started.
So there's this clip going around of Kamala Harris at Jesse Jackson's funeral, basically insinuating that, she basically said, "I told you so," about everything that's going on with Trump and the administration, and everyone's losing their minds about it. Let's be honest, you guys are only mad because a black woman was right. The black woman you didn't want to vote for, primarily because of her blackness. I know people are going to say it's because of, the way the administration handled Gaza, or because the way this person didn't really, heed to conservative values, people on the left and the right. Bullshit. The majority of y'all didn't vote for her because she was a black woman. You didn't want a black woman being in charge of you. And now you guys are mad that the black woman was right the whole time, that if you voted Donald Trump in, everything she said was going to happen, happened, and then some. Who cares where she said it at? I don't give a damn if she said it at a funeral. I don't care if she said it at a bus stop. If you're right, you're right. And you know what? Every chance I get, if I was right about something like that and I was in the position of power she was in, I remind y'all every single day too. Like, oh, how's it going with ICE? How's it going with everything else? Oh yeah? Yeah, I told you so.
And everything that we go through with this administration, I'm going to keep saying this. Kamala was right. You can disagree if you want, but I'm going to say it again. Kamala was right. The black woman, she was right. Everything that this man is doing, Kamala said it. And I'm also going to say, she really did win. I'm going to say that over and over again. Kamala was right. People did not listen. The book was open, and you skipped through everything that she said and still decided to go the other way.
Kamala Harris was always right. When are we going to accept that Kamala Harris was always right, no matter how you feel about her, no matter how you feel about her being a vice president, no matter how you feel about her morality, her skill set, no matter how you feel about her as a person? Kamala Harris was always right, and every step that Donald Trump has taken, she not only predicted, she said it would happen, and she gave us a play-by-play on the other options in case he wouldn't even do that one. Kamala Harris predicted the war. Kamala Harris predicted what he would do in the first 100 days when he got in office. Kamala Harris predicted how he would take government jobs and he would tear down the government officials. Kamala Harris literally predicted what he would do with immigration, even though he said it 50 million motherfucking times. Kamala Harris said how he would blame Biden, and Kamala Harris, every step of his way, probably until he got off the motherfucking office. Every single step, every single move, down to the detailed points, she knew everything was going to happen the way that he said it was going to happen, and people still voted for him. That in itself not only deserves praise, but it also deserves a level of understanding and empathy, because we have to remember, no one else was calling Donald Trump on his bullshit even at that time. Now everybody is having revelations. Some people need to start saying thank you and accepting the fact that she was right.
If you say, I don't do politics, you voted for Donald Trump. If you say, I don't share who I voted for, you voted for Donald Trump. Because any person that voted for Kamala Harris and tried to save the democracy in 2024 is like out and proud. Just like me when I came out of the closet. We are out and proud, and we are not ashamed to tell you that we voted for Kamala Harris. We will tell you up and down all the time, okay, that we voted for Kamala Harris if you ask us. So instead of hiding it and saying, I don't share who I voted for, just tell me you voted for Trump. That way I don't have to associate with you, because that's what I'm going to assume anyway.
Do you all remember how many people kept saying that they specifically were not voting for Kamala Harris because they did not want their sons to be drafted? I personally could not open my TikTok without receiving many, many comments from women saying that they personally were not going to be voting for Kamala Harris for their son's safety. I also distinctively remember that there was a trend on TikTok where people were making videos exactly like that. How's that going for you all, considering Donald Trump's press secretary went on the news yesterday and said that Donald Trump is not keeping a draft out of the picture because he wants to have all of his options available? It's almost like we have been warning you that this man is a con artist. That man knew how to get so many of you. Also, he can be put in a position of power to not go to jail and to enrich his pockets.
I'm so glad I voted for Kamala Harris because I don't feel guilty about shit that's happening right now. I really don't. And that's not to say that I'm not heartbroken about what's going on, but I don't feel any guilt because this shit is not my fault. As that one brilliant woman said on this app, this is not my lesson to learn. I'm so glad I had my sense about me in 2024, and I'm so glad that I did not bend to the will of people who wanted me to bend, who wanted me to give up on her. And like, I hope now people can understand why I went crazy, why I became a political attack bitch, why I was so hurt, why I was so mad, because I told you exactly what was going to happen. I told you how many people's lives were on the line. I told you how bad and how gruesome it could get. And y'all called me crazy, just like you called her crazy. You called me a bitch, just like you called her a bitch. And just like her, I don't care anymore. Just like her, I'm fighting in a way that keeps me alive and puts joy and hope at the forefront of my life. Because we have to survive this time. We have to survive this regime. And we will not survive without joy and hope. I'm so glad I voted for Kamala Harris. And I'm so glad that I'm still following my president, even if she isn't really my president.
You know, folks, one of the most frustrating parts about this whole thing in Iran is sitting and watching the timeline and seeing all of the clips resurface of Donald Trump talking and speaking against war, claiming to be the no more wars president, claiming to be the peace president, hearing all the MAGA influencers parrot what he said, and then going back and listening to Kamala Harris and other Democrats and other people and other influencers warn us about what Donald Trump would do. You know, people said we were being hyperbolic. People said we were trying to create hysteria. People said we were just trying to create clickbait. But I don't know about you all. When I was watching the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, I was sitting there saying to myself then, she's 100% right here. She's spot on. This is what's going to happen. I'm glad people like Andrew Schultz is starting to come around, the bro podcaster. I'm glad he's starting to see through it. I'm glad other people are starting to see through it. But we saw through it long before Kamala said it right here. Thank you.
And the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people
Vice
to stop
Harris,
him.
thank you. There it was. Everything she said then, we knew it would happen, and it has happened. So to everyone that said we were being hyperbolic, there it is. And look at what's going on. Everything she said has come true. And to me, that's one of the hardest parts about it. But here she was. It wouldn't, and again, we saw through it actually in the first term, okay? We saw through it when he came down the damn escalator. But here's Kamala in 2019, warning of what's happening today.
As far as I'm concerned, this president is motivated by his personal insecurities more than he is our national security. And so what we're looking at is, again, a threat that might be taken seriously. And I would dare to say that that threat was issued without serious consultation with our allies, with our military leaders, with our diplomatic leaders. What are our alternatives? Let's also be clear, if this president is thinking about putting us in a position where we're in a war with Iran, the consequences will be absolutely unacceptable and tragic in terms of the young men and women who are American soldiers who would be sent and deployed into something that was completely avoidable.
This whole thing was completely avoidable, and that's why it's so.
If you voted for Trump in any of the elections, you need to be the first person on the front lines if we're going to war. It don't matter if you've seen the light now. If you voted for him even once, you need to be the first ones out there. Really show the world that you're truly sorry for your vote. Be on that front line, because I didn't vote for him, so I damn sure ain't gonna be there.
And here's the thing. The gag is, even with Kamala Harris being right about everything, there are people still on this app trying to equate what they think Kamala Harris would have done and what Donald Trump is currently doing as if they would be the same on this issue. They wouldn't even be the same on the one issue y'all give a shit about or claim to give a shit about. You only talk about one genocide and you don't loop them all together, both foreign and domestic. You can't be trusted. You should not be taken seriously on this platform in general and specifically. You should be blocked immediately, because the shit that we have to do in 2026 when it comes to the midterms, both the primaries and the general, is so vast. If there is anyone on this app talking cash shit about anything Democrats are doing, when Democrats are not in power, block them. Because if you've got more smoke for the Democrats than the Republicans who are actually in power, you're not to be trusted in 2026 and beyond, because you're not a serious human being and you don't care about the people of this country. You care about sound bites. You care about a fake litmus test. You care about the fake accountability archives. All that shit doesn't even fucking matter, because the US is doing shit that they legit can't do and they don't care. And y'all are still complaining about 2024. You're still complaining about Kamala Harris. You're complaining about Jasmine Crockett, who's one of the most progressive congresspeople we currently have. You only want progress if it's in the shape of a white man. And once y'all figure that out, we can all move forward. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna need y'all to catch up, Mustard, because we have bigger fish to fry. And like, some of y'all sound so dumb and goofy. And the other half of people who don't want to engage are also doing yourselves a disservice, because you need to be informed about what the fuck is going on in this country. If you did not know what happened in 2025 at a broad scale, go back to my previous video, because I laid it out in super general terms and didn't even get into the nitty gritty about what the fuck the healthcare is going to look like right now this month, since Republicans did not pass ACA subsidies. That is a whole separate issue. And because of that, 2026 is already starting off shit. So do yourself a favor and pay attention. Also pay attention to the people that you're getting your news from. If you don't watch the regular news, cool. Make sure these people do not have more smoke for people that aren't in charge than for people that are. Okay? All right. Happy Sunday. You guys have a good one.
Okay, so how many of you watched that debate between Vice President Harris and the convicted felon and believed her when she said that he would get us into another war? So you voted for her? We've just attacked Iran. Yeah, we should have Kamala Harris right now.
On day one, Donald Trump will walk into that office with an enemy's list.
It was almost like Kamala Harris was psychic or something. She was right about everything.
My Republican family voted against Kamala specifically because they said she was going to drag us into World War III. But look at what we've got going on right now. Not only is he tweeting out incendiary comments like, Tehran, you all need to evacuate immediately. I told you so. It's too late. Millions of lives are going to perish because Iran didn't sign the agreement that I took them out of the last time I was in office. And even last night, making comments, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Nobody knows what I'm going to do. That's literally an interview he just gave last night about something as serious as whether or not he's dragging our country into a war we did not start and do not belong in. He's taking it with such a flippant attitude, whether he's going to allow our country that already has our bombs dropping on Iran, whether we're going to go proactively participate in preemptively slaughtering tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
This comment just did something to me, and I think it's because I've never had a white person say I'm sorry for everything that's happened. And it's not that you guys are responsible, it's not that it's your fault, but it's similar to when you lose someone, right? When we're expressing our sympathy, you know, there's a bereavement happening and we're expressing our sympathy, we say, I'm sorry for your loss. We say that. And we don't think twice about it, but for some reason, white folks think it's not their responsibility or it's not their fault, and so they don't have to express any sort of concern or sympathy or empathy. And I've already been accused of respectability politics or trying to convince white people of things, and that's not at all what I do. If you know me, you know I'm probably one of the most blackety black fuckers on this planet. I'm very pro-black. I'm all about black empowerment, but I'm also about healing. And it is times like this when white people are able to take a step back and just say, damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that my ancestors, I'm sorry that my people have put your people through this. Just to say, I'm sorry, y'all. And I know it's not you. It's not you. It's not individual people. But for you to be able to just be able to say that means a lot. So thank you.
I'll probably get arrested for what I'm about to say, but fuck it, no one else will say it, so I will. My name is Hunter Howell, and it is time to abolish our government. And before I'm arrested for saying that, I need to give a source. My source, the Declaration of Independence. Word for word, here's what it says in the Declaration of Independence. When a government becomes destructive to the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it is the right and duty of the people to alter or abolish it. Real quick, before the FBI comes breaking down my door for this video, Purple Populist Show, I'm gonna probably need a good lawyer because I'm gonna start turning up the heat as I promised I would this year, and specifically tell us it's time to abolish our government. So $5 a month, link is in my bio. You better fucking click it now. Link in bio or comment link or comment show. It's $5 a month. Subscribe now. I'm going to give 3 very clear and concise examples of how our government has become destructive to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life. Bombing Iranian civilians. That's pretty destructive to the right of life. Liberty. Gen Z is no longer able to buy homes or find jobs. My generation. Can't even imagine how hard it'll be for the younger generations than myself. In pursuit of happiness. No justice for the survivors of sex trafficking, the Epstein survivors, the heroes that endured all of that from the abuse of predators. In fact, not only is there no justice for them, there was concealing and protection for the predators. So damn it, that's my source. Declaration of Independence says that it's up to us, the people, to abolish our government. And I'm not going to sit around much longer, and you should neither. It's time for us to do something. Sending you my love.
Last night, Donald Trump literally admitted that he did not care about democracy in Iran. He doesn't care whether it's going to be led by a religious figure. All he says that he needs is someone who's nicer to Israel and America. And so all of you people who advocated and justified war against Iran on the basis of protecting protesters, human rights, or bringing democracy should hang your head in absolute shame, because Trump enunciated exactly exactly what Western policy is towards the Middle East. They don't want democracy, because if they actually allow Middle Eastern people to choose what they want, they may not allow American bases on their land. They may not have good relations with Israel and America. They may actually choose something that is rooted in their actual history and culture, and that absolutely cannot run. All of the evidence is there. We didn't bomb Iraq because we cared about what Saddam Hussein had done to his own people. In fact, Western countries were selling him the chemical weapons so he could commit atrocities. We didn't care about Gaddafi. We bombed him because we wanted change there. The situation in Libya got catastrophically worse. In the case of Egypt, it was literally a democracy in 2013. We didn't protect it. We aided and abetted a coup against the democracy there because people who we didn't like won. The Muslim Brotherhood, they didn't cheat, they didn't steal the election, and yet Sisi is now one of the West's closest allies. This is all it boils down to, and the sooner you realize it, the sooner you see through the American empire. We do not care about human rights. We do not care about abuses of people in the Middle East. All we care about is dictators who will dance the correct tune.
I don't think that y'all are ready for Donald Trump to leave office because he's so obviously the fall guy for the Conservative Party and for the next ushering in of white supremacist Christian fascism, that once Donald Trump is gone, whether it's because of his many enemies that he's made, the people themselves, his publicly broadcasted sickness, conviction, impeachment, whatever the case may be, you're going to be so happy that he's gone. You're going to take your feet off of the necks of these politicians, Democrat and Republican, who allowed him to get this far. And then we're going to see the next orderly ushering in of fascism, and everybody's going to welcome it with open arms because it's going to be a lot less loud, a lot less violent, a lot less racist at first. It's going to seem more socially appropriate. Reporting your neighbors is going to be for the good of America and orderliness. And that is actually the thing that I fear more. MAGA is going to have to move to another cult. Okay? They're going to choose. They're going to make their choice. It's not going to be as loud and boisterous. It's going to be in alignment with the values that they have that brought Donald Trump his presidency in the first place. White supremacy, misogyny, homophobia, ableism. All the same things are going to be in place. It's just going to be redirected into a different leader, savior. But that person's going to be a lot more well-spoken, a lot younger, perhaps considered attractive. And a lot of you who think that you hate Donald Trump and Republicans are going to fall for the next thing because it's going to come in a nicely packaged, neatly wrapped box. And that's actually worse to me.
Anyways, welcome back, guys. And you guys have literally seen all of the clip that I eventually rolled out for you guys. Hey! Oh my God. You know the song that said, "There is one thing I know wherever I go, Jesus Christ never failed me yet." Black Americans have a lot of song to be singing, praising, hallowing God, sitting back, relaxing, sleeping, and not even panicking. Yes, because if you think the economy is going to affect Black Americans alone, it's dealing with your access. The economic is also showing you people pepe. Pepe. The economy is also poking a lot of you guys, right? Even more than Black Americans. You know, Black Americans literally warned you people. Black Americans literally told you people. Black Americans have been emphasizing on this. This decision you people want to make is not going to be the best decision. No. All of us are going to feel the heat. You people said, no, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Look at all of the single campaign that this man actually campaigned during his campaign, where he was literally bashing Kamala Harris, saying Kamala Harris will bring the World War III, saying Kamala Harris will do this, saying Kamala Harris will do that. See, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Kamala Harris won that election. She won that particular election. It was twisted in favor of the orange man. That's just the honest truth. If you like, argue with your computer, but she won it. Do you get? And right now, people that did not vote for her are now coming out to issue an apology. There's no need for people to apologize, okay? There's no need of apologizing. Do not apologize. She literally do not need your apology. Black Americans do not need your apology. Black Americans are just happy for you guys that what you voted for is what is dealing with you. You know, it has not gotten to that point whereby if some of these white folks go to places and they bring out discussion about politics, they will tell you they are not interested in politics. Some of them will tell you, I am just here for vacation, just like the video I pulled out yesterday. I'm just here for vacation. I don't really care about politics. That's because they knew who they voted for. That's because they knew they voted for pains. That's because they knew they voted for their own Medicare and so on and so forth. And it's not looking more like, see, this Kamala Harris, she's a prophetess. She's a prophetess. In fact, the anointing of God is running down her head. Because how can someone just say something and exactly what she said is what is coming? That's to tell you she understands the in-depth of white supremacy. She have studied them more than the way she even studied herself. She can come and predict them and tell you this person will go this direction and exactly he will go that particular direction. So she predicted every single thing that is literally happened today. She said it. She said this man will lead us to that World War III. This man is not here for peace. This man will send militaries out there. This man will do this. This man will do that. And is that not what he did? Is that not what he is doing? The same person that accused Kamala Harris of she's gonna bring the World War III, and you know me, I'm a peaceful person. When I actually ruled, I've never brought anything like World War III. But if you vote for this woman is gonna bring World War III because she is not experienced. Blah 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 blah. And we slept on the 27th. I will never forget that date. I will never forget that date. That we slept peacefully. Nobody talked about anything. And we woke up on the 28th. And the orange man said, there is war. Let's get our axes ready. Because we are going to the battlefront. We are going to show the skills that we have. Now, can I shock somebody that as at yesterday's report that I saw, they have spent over $10 billion. Over $10 billion since this war have started. And this $10 billion they're talking about is what they use every single day. Now tell me, why won't the economy run dry? Tell me, why won't there be fuel or gas scarcity? Tell me why prices of groceries won't go high. Tell me why people will not pay normal tax but will keep paying higher taxes. Tell me. And for people that will always come in my comment section to come and tell me, focus on what is happening in your own country. I want to know what is happening to Africa. Why is Africa popnosing in our business? Why is America the center of attraction? Listen, anything that affects you as an American affect us too. As I am talking to you guys, we literally do buy fuel less than 1,000 naira, which is what is just like half a dollar. But right now, as I'm talking to you, we are buying fuel right now over $1. And of which it is impacting and affecting our Nigeria economy so badly. Dollar prices keep skyrocketing. And that is how the prices of foodstuff and every other thing in our own country is skyrocketing. Because in one way or the other, we do benefit from America. Is that clear? So if you think you want to help me do my job, you want to know more about Africans, please, you can do me a favor. Open a channel, a YouTube channel. Post about Africans and let me know that you have created. I will subscribe to watch. I will. We are also affected. We are in pains as well. We are in pains. Gradually, they keep dragging this same thing to east, west, north, and south. Gradually, they keep dragging it to Africans as well. You can imagine the Israelis asking Ghanaians to join them to war against Iran. And you think we are not affected as Africans? You think we are still the same way we are? I stay in this country. I know how affordable things used to be. So it's just a whole lot. So if only the people that casted their votes did not vote for this orange man, if only a lot of them woke up to their reality on time, when black people were telling them, when black Americans were telling them, this place you're going to is not going to make sense, we wouldn't have been at this stage where we are today. Now they are crying, they are wailing, they are raging. And they are coming to the realization, oh, we regret doing this. But is it not too late right now? It is too late. And one annoying part with some of these white folks is no matter how you give them time to rewrite their story, they will never rewrite their story. They will still keep repeating the same mistake over and over again. That is who these people are. That is who these people are. Let me know what you think about this video. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And for disclaimers, this is just for educational purpose. With that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys.